Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Boom Gonzalez, and in tonight's game plan, we'll break down the clash between the Creamline Cool Smashers and F2 Logistics in the PVL All-Filipino Conference Semifinals.
We'll also discuss the all-red matchup, the battle between the PLDT high-speed hitters and the Petrogas Angels. And we'll catch up with the champs, the FEU Diliman Baby Tamaraos, fresh from winning the UAP Season 85 Juniors Basketball title. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Well, the Creamline Cool Smashers are one win away from advancing to the PVL All-Filipino Conference Finals. Now, but will the F2 Logistics fight to stay alive and extend the series to a Game 3? Well, let's bring in the real deal himself, PVL analyst Neil Flores, to break down this matchup for us. I'm making it work, Neil. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Kailangan ko masanay doon muna pa. I need to get used to that.
I need to get more people calling you that.
So the real deal doesn't give us fake news?
No, he does not. Never. And his analysis always on point. All right, so let's go first to that first win. Creamline getting the best of F2 that time around. Their first win against them, ever, really. What did you make of that matchup?
Well, once upon a time, there was a question in the volleyball circuit about who the best club team is. People were siding with F2, people were siding with Creamline, but we don't know the basis of the best team is. Ang alam lang natin, in every conference, one will outplay the other. And F2 was really the kryptonite of the Creamline Cool Smashers. They never won against them in the PVL. They lost in the reinforced conference 5 sets. They also lost in the preliminaries in 5 sets. So, malaking tinik yun na natanggal sa Creamline because they won in 4 and they really took advantage na wala si Myla Pablo in the fold for F2 Logistics.
Okay, so other than the Myla Pablo factor, Alyssa Valdez obviously is the first semifinals that she's missed in this championship campaign of Creamline. What were the other volleyball factors now? Let's talk about that and break down that win for Creamline over F2 in game number 1 of the semis.
Yeah, we have to take note that Tots Carlos is in the left wing, but she's actually a right-wing spiker, an opposite hitter. And sila ni Michelle Gumabao, they combined for 40 big points. That was a big production from these girls. Again, wala si Alyssa Valdez. And Creamline was looking for that clutch player. And we know na si Alyssa talaga yon, usually in semifinals and finals games. But with the emergence of Michelle Gumabao, increasing her efficiency to the best of her capabilities in this conference, I would say that was the biggest thing for Creamline in that win.
Let's go exact here, 42 combined points for both Gumabao and Carlos. You take a look at Big MG, her player of the game performance here, and I think you mentioned it, looking for that clutch player, it's always a combination of Gumabao and Carlos, but then you take a look at what she's doing, why she's so difficult to deal with here for F2.
Well, they have Gia de Guzman, so kailangan natin siya ma-mention. She's the #1 server, she is the #1 setter, and she has given Michelle Gumabao all these chances na single block. And we know that if MG is faced with a single block, that's 99% sure point already for Creamline. So it's still a collective effort. And even the defense of Creamline, nagko-connect siya dun sa passing ni Gia de Guzman. Hindi siya masyadong gumagalaw sa setter's box. Although there are some erratic passes, nagagawan pa rin nila ng paraan. And even with MG getting the points, they have other options in the middle. Sed Domingo and Pangs Panaga still deadly in that position.
Well, I was just about to mention Pangs was a big deal also in that 4th set, and then of course Gemma Galanza will always be there, and you'll always have to prepare for her for game number 2. But I like this whole Michelle Gumabao kind of like redemption tour, and when you think about it, it overshadows the 22 points of Tots Carlos, who's also in some sort of redemption for herself, Neil, because she knows that she didn't do well because she didn't play a lot in the reinforced conference. So here she is back with a vengeance.
And I would say that she's more consistent. I'm not saying that Tots Carlos is super inconsistent. It's just that MG is playing on a different level in this conference. And nakita natin not just in attacking but also in blocking. That has always been one of her weapons under her arsenal. And nailabas niya rin yun against an F2 squad that is very strong in that department. So magandang naging matchup in that skill department as well.
Well, looking on F2 side, again, no Myla Pablo, again, a big weapon there for F2, not available for selection. And you take a look at si Laksina, si Makandili Katindig, which I'm going to have to get used to saying now. Yes, it's interesting to say. But you take a look at the F2 logistics, what can they build on from that first game, trying to extend the series?
Well, first things first, they have very stable passing and, digging rather, in that game against Creamline. Medyo off yung passes nila. And I say that because they need one player na magaling sa out-of-system plays. That's where Myla Pablo comes in. And when you're out of system, you cannot give soft touches papunta sa side ng Creamline kasi you can expect bombs all over the place. So if you get a player na magaling mag-convert ng out-of-system passes, then you would be on the good side. And for F2 Logistics, meron na silang Don Makandili. Now, Ivy Laksina is performing well in that middle blocker position. But at any point in time, just in case lang wala pa si Myla Pablo, they can put her in the left wing if they need more firepower because she also played as an outside hitter before.
Right.
So, madaling pwedeng i-adjust yung rotation ng F2 Logistics. And I can imagine so many combinations na pwede nilang gawin to extend this series to a game 3.
Neil, you know this very well. In playoffs or finals for that matter, there are little things, details that make a difference now in games like these. The end of that first set, where lamang ang F2 and had a chance to close it, and Coach Regine Diego did say that's where they lost the match. They felt the miscommunication there at the end. What are your thoughts on that? And of course, we'll never know the answer to this, but your guess, would have that changed the tone of that match?
Yes, sobrang crucial, lalo na yung tight sets. It can make or break a team, especially in the semifinals. So they do not want to lose close sets because there are sets na medyo malayo yung margin and you can come back after, the following set. Pero yung mga nasa 25-23, 28-26,
24-23 yun eh.
25 na yun. Yun yung mga hindi mo pwedeng italo because that can break the confidence of the team.
Yeah, that was the miscommunication between Kiana D and Ivy Laksina that Coach Regine Diego was pointing out at the end of that first set. Good luck to both teams tomorrow. But after the break, we'll head on to the second semifinals matchup between PLDT and Petrogas. So stay tuned. You're watching The Game.